Shorty say she down and up and flex with all the shooters. Shorty, all you gotta get ahead of all my shooters.
What is going on, y'all? It's your boy 3 We are back with another video, and I just want to say a huge shout out to Gaming Addict. Thank you for inviting me over to your podcast, The Addict Show. I'll put the link in the description below. We talked about the Xbox E3 2018 showroom floor plans, and which is why I made this video following up with that, because I am still very concerned about, you know, how they're going to work this event after their press conference. Because for those who don't know, during the week of E3 you have the press conferences, which is early on, and then I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday you actually, or I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no, I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday you actually have E3, which is separate from the conferences, but they're all relatable in the sense of the games head over to there. People get to try some of them that were announced, or get more in-depth, I guess, information, I should say, about some of these titles. Now this year I actually have it. It's on the E3 or E3 website plans themselves. Like, I'm gonna just show you guys a screenshot here, and what we were just talking about is, why didn't Microsoft go with it a smaller venue this year in comparison to last year? Like, it's so small. I actually think it's smaller than legit, I can't even think of a company actually, because I don't know a company who showed up to E3 with such a small booth, other than like those little, I guess, little store companies that want to try to sell their merchandise or something. It's so weird. This is pretty much basically the venue area. It says here the E3 2018 floor plans are up, preliminary, partially, so some of them aren't filled up yet, and some of them are. But I'm gonna show you guys the first building, the West Hall building, and as you guys can see here, immediately off the top, this is basically when you enter in. And what you see here, no, the entrance down here, excuse me. But when you enter in here, you see Exceed Games, you got Gun-Ho, you have Focus Home. Nvidia got like a pretty big space this year. I'm assuming is because they're probably going to announce like other graphics cards and whatnot. You have Sega of America, you have Big Ben Interactive, and you got all these empty spaces here, which may be filled up with some either indie developer games or some other titles too that may be coming out this year. But some of the noticeable ones here, of course, is Sony Interactive America. They have one big space right here, and they have another space on the left side, which may be also for some other games that they might have here for people to play. Then on the right, you have a Nintendo section, which is pretty good in size, and next to it also, which may be like their treehouse area, or where they may be showcasing some of their little events with some cast people, I guess, coming onto the show as they did last year. If you look above, this is like the VIP section, as Addict was saying, and it's in blue, and this might be another area for Sony as well. This is all towards the back. I'm assuming that the purple will actually be more on the lines of like where you get to go inside the theaters. Like last year was Detroit Become Human, God of War, Spider-Man, Days Gone. You was able to sit in like this theater while they talk more in depth about the game and show you some gameplay. And in this case right here, it shows you the schedules in which you are able to actually enter these events. So it looks like this whole, I don't even want to get into that shit, but this is the concerning part. That was one building, right? You don't see Microsoft here. We're gonna go ahead and scroll down, and this is the other hall. This is the South Hall, because remember, E3 is pretty damn big. This has nothing relatable to the conferences. The conferences are on their own separate days, but this is the other conference hall. I mean, not conference hall, excuse me. This is the South Hall of the other E3 building. And as you guys see here, this is one of the big entrances right here of this area. So as soon as you enter, you get into the lobbies. This is where you meet all these people. You walk around, you enter which way. But you see here, Square Enix has a pretty, you know, big size booth right here. This might be like a little section of like a mini theater, guest to see some exclusive gameplays. Here, of course, I feel like they're big this year because they got several things they want to announce. Kingdom Hearts might be even playable. You may hear something about Final Fantasy VII HD Remake. Like, who knows? We don't know yet. We also, of course, might see something that's relatable to Marvel. Who knows? On the left, we see Activision. I'm pretty sure Activision got something on the works. They probably want to announce something with Destiny. Call of Duty might make a name for themselves, because remember, Activision removed themselves last year. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was last year, because they decided to do their own thing somewhere else. I think it was last year or the year before. Forgive me if I forgot. But oh no, I think it was the year before. I can't remember, but I just know that Activision got their own thing. Above here is Warner Bros, so I'm assuming a Mortal Kombat, or they might show something with Injustice. Who knows? They got some stuff in the works. Ubisoft, of course, they got some titles that are going to be dropping soon. So of course, like Crew 2 and other games of some sort that may be dropping. Far Cry, even though Far Cry comes out a little bit earlier, but they probably got something in the works. Capcom got a pretty sizable booth here, or not even a booth, like a big section. So I'm assuming they got something in the works that they want to show us. Pretty interesting. Epic Games, and I know this is about Microsoft, but I just want to go over the whole showroom floor. These are pretty big, guys. When I went to E3, these areas are pretty huge, exclusively to each of these companies. When you go inside, Epic Games got a pretty big ass booth, guys. So they might be showing something crazy this year. They probably got some new modes showing the 60 frame. They probably got something in the works. Up here you got Bandai Namco, of course, Soul Calibur. They got I think one Attack on Titans, or I forgot what game it is, forgive me, that they got also that they're announcing. They got the Dragon Ball Fighters. They probably got like a tournament going on. They probably got so much more in the works. So of course, I think I mentioned Soul Calibur already. Bethesda got a pretty big ass booth, and of course they normally do during E3. They always have something huge, but I want to know what games they're announcing because this is pretty big. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty big booth. Now I'm gonna skip this one, right? It's pretty laughable. But Take-Two Interactive, for those who don't know, they work on the games like GTA. You know what I'm saying? I think Mafia as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I got a feeling something Red Dead related might be here. So stay tuned for that. They might release some information. But this might be Red Dead related. I ain't gonna lie. But at last, you see here Microsoft. This is concerning. The reason why this is concerning is because, like, yo, like, hold up. This is rigging and handling target schedule. So I don't know. I don't know. This is all exhibitors. I don't know. Why is Microsoft shit so little? This is little. I don't like this. And the reason why it's a problem is because, hello, if we scroll this shit, look, if this compare this to Microsoft, dude, what are they doing? And then let me just, oh God, look at this. This is little. This is literally gonna fit like 3 types of games with lines, with like 3 long ass lines. I'm not gonna lie, that's not that much. With a couple of monitors are gonna fit in here. This is what I'm assuming, and without trying to shit on Microsoft, this is what I assume, because everything has to be taken by its course. So Xbox One X released, right? And let me go ahead and take this off screen. Xbox One X released, right? So this is what I'm assuming. I feel like they're gonna host, and as I mentioned this on the Gaming Addict show, the Addict podcast show, I feel like they're gonna have their own conference, as always, in the Microsoft Convention Center or whatever. I feel like they're gonna go the EA Play route. EA Play, you don't see EA there because they removed themselves from this venue. I feel like they would rather have more private and more open to like their peoples, like to people who cater to EA stuff. So they have their own section. EA Play is nowhere near E3. You have to travel somewhere to EA Play, and it's a big event that has all the developers there, everyone there, people part of the dev team, blah blah blah, with all their games. I got a feeling Microsoft, after their convention, they might actually host something which has their first party exclusive, third party exclusive titles or whatever, and they might host their own like event, whatever, and people could try to get tickets for that. And I feel like for E3, they're just going to showcase, I guess, Crackdown 3 or a couple of new games for people to play. But I feel like the bigger venue might be taking place somewhere else. That's why I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I'm not going to judge real quick, but it kind of concerns me because if they don't like mention any other big event, because EA Play is soon about to be announced. EA Play, we all know EA is going to do this big. They do it real big with EA Play. I don't know what's going on with Microsoft. So I'm just like, dude, if this is their venue, this is laughable. Like, this is not good, because personally, this isn't going to help showcase your games. This is not even going to fit a squad of 20 people in here. Like, I'm telling you, that is little. That's almost like the Logitech stand where they had all the little keyboards and shit and you walk past it, a little venue. That's how small this is. So compare that to like Warner Bros. Epic Games is even bigger than that. Take-Two Interactive is bigger than that. But I feel like they got something else in the works. Now, for those who don't know, PlayStation with Sony, after their press conference, they actually allowed people to go downstairs in like their area of the theater because they had a whole big VR section with PlayStation games for you to play. I don't know if Microsoft might do that because they also got the Fan Fest. But I think Microsoft might try to do something with it, like, all right, now you get to try out our games. We have our own separate event, blah, blah, blah. And they might go big because you have the Xbox One X. You have all these games that you want to come out with. You just acquired 2 other studios. Why would you set yourself up with a small booth? You know what I mean? Even though it's open to the public and media. I don't know. But please, let me know what you guys think, because that was a little bit concerning. I'm looking at it all now. Even Xseed Games, which I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you, has a bigger booth. Now, just scrolling down here, let me just show you guys some of this stuff. So, and just in other news, it says here Microsoft booth is 75 by 20 in 2017. They had booth 16, which is 200 by 100. So yeah, obviously it's very small. Like, this is very small. Now I think this is the Xbox area. or maybe not. But all I know is it says Konami has a big meeting room this year as well. Nintendo has reserved the 411 theater as always. So this is just regular stuff, but this is very like concerning. Like, I just want to know what they're going to announce, because I look forward to all these conferences, and I always look forward to going to all the booths to see what games they got to showcase. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm a little concerned about this whole thing, but please drop your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, I don't understand. There's a floor, like, there's still a lot of booths that need to be covered. We don't know if the other yellow part's going to be covered by Microsoft. I don't know yet, but we'll see what happens later on when they start announcing more updates on this, like, I guess blueprint, I should say, or whatever, or the preliminaries, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's your boy 3MG. I'm out of here, man. Peace.
Yeah, I told you, the weather's cold, we're getting older. Things even change when it gets colder. But we'll move on just like a moment. Nothing is the sun and sky, the sun's summer. Those were the days,